Let me tell you about my Two of Swords kind of day. There might be quite a lesson in this for you. So stick with it. This is a faceless video. Some days I feel like showing my face, some days I do not. Today is not. I hope that you're doing well. So I want to tell you about my Two of Swords kind of day. And I'm doing it from this Rider-Waite Tarot deck, which is quite a special deck to me. I bought it when I was in Johannesburg and I was there for only 2.5 months. But my God, I learned so many lessons and I ran into so many challenges. It was like a master class. And sometimes in life, I was looking for the Two of Swords. So sometimes in life, when we experience a lot of challenges, it is actually a lot of times because we don't realize how far we've come. We don't realize how far we've come sometimes. And I wonder if I can put this somewhere. I don't know. Ow! A candle. Oh, wait. I'm trying to look in the screen and do this simultaneously. I don't want it to get wet. Can I put it over there? Ah, ta-da! Let's move the candle. Ta-da! Okay. Let the white candle to invoke in angel energy for you. So, beautiful, beautiful cosmic siblings of mine. For those of you that know my journey, you know that I started in 2019. So I've been a tarot reader. I've been a tarot reader for like 20 years, But there was a lot of fear, and by 2019 I started. And it was very difficult when I started, and I had the support of my best friend, who's absolutely amazing, a complete godsend, literally, But I had a lot of fear, and so I was always working very, very hard at, making it work and getting there and all that sort of things. And then I realized earlier today, actually, that I have been trying so hard to make things work for myself, but I've been having things working for myself for a long period of time. I've been supporting myself quite comfortably. I'm supporting my dog, and we're good. And what I'm trying to drive home with you with this is that sometimes in life we even forget what our initial goal was. We even forget why we started something, because life being this very, very delicious journey, it is going to take you on all these detours and everything seems inviting, because universal potential is really just that. It's universal potential. It's all these invitations of inspiration that will come your way depending on what your vibrational field is. And it's also delicious, and it can be so distracting. And so we set a goal for ourselves where we want to go in life, and we get there. But the thing that no one really tells us is that when you get to the destination, of your dream, that there's going to be other challenges there. It's not going to be this everlasting utopia that is never going to expire. That is just not going to happen. Because life is a ever ongoing, a continually flowing experience and expression upon itself. I suppose the only thing that we can't be is to be, So it may be a good idea to just be, And so what I'm trying to say here is that, I've been so hard on myself, focusing on all my mistakes and what I'm not doing right and how I can do better. But when I sort of realized that, I wasn't ready for certain things that I'm ready for now, and that is why those things didn't come my way. That those challenges were actually blessings in disguise. When I moved the last time, I actually created a whole abundance manifestation masterclass around it, and it's actually in the link in the description. You can get it on the UDEMY platform with lifelong access. But I created a whole course around it because it's when I surrendered that everything just happened. And I mean, literally just happened. When I say I didn't have to lift a finger, I mean I didn't have to lift a finger. And this space has been incredibly good to Bruno and I. It's been very, very good to us. It's been really, we've got to grow, and, it's almost like we got time, like this time bubble to make decisions, and it was beautiful. And, but we forget sometimes when there are challenges that that there's a beautiful, there's a beautiful flow of life that is looking out for us. And the way that I normally best remember it, so it doesn't have to be the way that you take care of a problem, but this is how I deal with my challenges. When I don't know what to do, this is what I do. So it doesn't have to be it's not like it's a prerequisite, but what I will say is that, listen, universe, source, whatever, I need this is what I need, this is what I need help with. And if somehow the way I find a solution, if it benefits other people, cool jazz, fantastic. It's not a prerequisite, but it'll be nice, and that is actually how I came up with a course that I'm currently teaching, the Dreamweaver's Oracle. But this is such an amazing deck of cards. Everything about this deck is just magical. And so it is through that I also realized how far I was in life. I've recently had the very beautiful divine privilege of partaking in a very big group coaching with like 19,000 plus people, and that group dynamic is available. And it was by doing that the course didn't so much teach me anything new, but what it did was remind me of what my initial goal was, why I was doing things. I got a little bit off track, and to motivate me to go and do it, and to can get it, and that I can. And in that way, it's been very, very beneficial. I've learned long ago in my life that the idea of thinking that you know everything, you're just setting yourself back. Not the thing that you want to do. Okay. But anyway, so with Two of Swords, I really just wanted to share this with you. It's not like there's any, maybe it resonates with you or whatever, but I'm not like setting out here to teach you like this deep lesson and to like broaden your horizons or anything like that. I just really wanted to share with you that it was so incredible, when I realized that everything that I wanted, I already had, and that even though I'm in a little bit of a pickle at the moment, I'm a little bit of a time constraint because I need to move and nothing is 100% set in place here, I am all right with that. And what is amazing for me with the same thing coming around now is seeing that, oh, you've overcome that pattern, where before you would have really fallen completely into some sort of, almost like a paranoia, sort of like anxiety, nervous breakdown, sort of meltdown type of thing, thinking that the best way was to really just end my life. And it was amazing for me. And I was, as I was witnessing through all of this, it was almost like, every situation that came my way was this reminder to me that you have grown exponentially, and you are really brave and you're really strong. And I think that sometimes we don't see that in ourselves. We haven't grown up in a society where you've been taught that you want to, be aware of your own sort of like, accomplishments and, congratulate yourself and stuff like that. Which, I mean, I do. I really, really do. But, I think the thing that I want to share with you here is that, I was going so hard for, to make things work and to become successful and to fulfill my dreams, that I actually haven't realized that I fulfilled them for the last 2 years. And sometimes that can happen. And so I want to encourage you to, to maybe just pause in your life, because where is this card now? Did I put the card back? Because the Two of Swords is very much, and if you're interested in learning tarot, you can check out, I've got some courses in it. Tarot is a fascinating thing. It really is, because it is this alphabet that you basically learn, so to speak, and then, the universe as a way of communicating to you. It's got a way of writing you very detailed letters. I mean, if you think with the tarot deck having 78 cards, it's about, if you think of the ABCs and you compare it to the tarot, there is 3 times the amount of letters in the alphabet. So it can actually tell you more. Where's the card? I don't know. Where did I put it? Did I move it? Oh, my goodness. I'm looking for the card that I put over there. It's a good thing I didn't find it. But what did fall out, though, is the Emperor, which is all about new beginnings, Aries energy. So if you were here, here's a message for you. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe that anything just happens, And I'm not just saying it to sound like new age is smart, basically, you know. Oh my God, it's so philosophical, you know. That's not why I'm doing it. It's just I really, really do believe that, you know. And I do believe that there is a bigger source. I'm not going to say a source bigger than us, but it's the bigger part of us that is really able to support us so much on this planet with our life experience here on this planet. But you know, sometimes we try so hard to make certain things work that we actually lose sight of the fact that it's, you know, that it's already working. And you know, we sometimes get so concerned about, you know, what if this doesn't happen and what if that doesn't happen and so forth and so forth and so forth. And I want to share with you all a story to kind of put this in context. And some of you may have heard the story before, but just listen with fresh ears. Maybe there's a message here for you, okay? So back in, I'm not always very good with time. So we're 2023 now. So back in 2021, when I also needed to move, you know, I was having all sorts of meltdowns and stuff. And so I've grown quite a lot in a short period of time. And sometimes we need to pause and reflect back, you know. But anyways, so don't get me wrong, I love meat. Like I love it exceptionally much. But for moral reasons, you know, and for the way that the animals are suffering, for moral reasons, I was very, very strong about it. And I tried several times, not just one. I wanted to be vegetarian, and I tried to, like, you know, sort of like balance out my supplements and all those type of things, you know, to get enough iron and protein and whatever. And it just didn't work. I was always sick, and I was always having, you know, skin problems, and my hair was flaky and dry, and there was always just something going on, you know, and I was always having all these infections and things. And so this one day I needed to pay for my rent, and I was running short on rent, and I think it was probably about the 18th of the month, you know, and that month had 30 days. And I was saying to myself, oh my Lord, what am I going to do? And I had some money, but not nearly enough, you know, I probably had like almost a quarter of my rent. That was it. I had nothing else. And nobody was booking anything, and I didn't see how I was going to make this work. And I said to myself, you know what, fuck this shit. If this is my last 12 days in this place, I think it was 13 days, so it must have been the 17th. Okay, so I said, you know what, if this is my last month in this place, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do after this. I'm sure the Shores has got a plan, but I'm going to enjoy it. And, you know, I went down to the store. I bought myself a big T-bone steak. You know those pans that you get with like it's almost like griddles. So like if you grill a steak, it's got like those lines, and you kind of hear the sound, you know. And I wanted it to look like that, and I didn't have a cast iron pan with that thing, and I just bought a pan as well. So I bought a T-bone steak, I bought a pan, and then I had some money left, so I bought myself a beautiful bottle of Sauvignon Blanc sparkling wine. And I chilled it, and I went home, and I used to have this big mirror. One wall was just a mirror. And so I moved like my therapy bed where I do like hypnosis and stuff. I moved it away, and I took off all my clothes, and I put on earphones. I always listen to music on earphones, even when I'm alone. I seem to hear better with it. But you know, I just danced in this mirror, and I just enjoyed myself. And 2 days later, a friend of mine that lives in Johannesburg came to Cape Town. He came to visit me, and he was asking me, you know, he had to decide if he was going to go back to Johannesburg or find his feet in Cape Town, and if it was okay to stay with me, you know, the time that I was there. And I was like, sure. And it was quite a small place. It was like a, you know, it was more like a cottage basically. So he, you know, he said to me, have you checked your SARS, which is basically the South African equivalent of the IRS. But in South Africa, you kind of have to check it. Like nobody's just going to send you a letter or notification that, you know, well, it depends. But in general, nobody's just going to let you know, unless you're employed by a company, basically, which of course I'm not. And anyway, so he said to me, have you checked your tax back, you know, with SARS? And I'm like, no, but I shouldn't be having any. And I've forgotten that I used to work, you know, for a company that creates online courses, and I learned a lot while I was there. And I believe it was like a masterclass, but the experience was absolutely, it was like gut-wrenching, you know? It was like suffering from a bad virus, basically. But I learned a lot. And also, I remember I found myself like at this one point I just had absolutely no confidence. And I said to myself, you know what, maybe it's time for you to then gain some confidence. So I actually took this online course to gain confidence. And that actually opened my mind because it made me realize that I've been taking all these online courses and they've really been amazing. But you know, maybe I can help other people because they are dealing with the same sort of things that I'm, you know, if I'm dealing with it, then other people must be dealing with it, which is really how I started my whole business. It was in the lockdown. I was like, well, you know, during the pandemic that, you know, if, because I was having a bad experience with the lockdowns. I was like, you know, throwing up and I had diarrhea and stomach cramps and I was highly emotional and temperamental and all sorts of other things. And I said, well, you know what? And I used to be kind of full of myself because I'm this Reiki master and I'm a crystal healer, you know, and I'm a tarot reader. Like, I know shit. But life will humble you, you know. And I used to kind of came from a lot of ego. But the reason why I came from a lot of ego is because I came from a lot of fear. And, you know, when you really think about it, ego is basically fear. It's insecurity, you know. I mean, the same is probably like for gossiping, basically. But anyways, I left the job and it was just such a dark episode of my life, even though it made so many wonderful things possible. um, I would say chief among the idea of, well, I can create online courses myself, and that has just taken me in a completely different direction, you know. And I have been feeling sort of unfulfilled in my work for a while. I wouldn't say I didn't love it. I just felt like I could do more, you know, and obviously that is usually taking you in a different direction. And that is when I realized I want to do group work, you know, breath work and like, you know, meditation sessions and guided meditations and, you know, maybe group crystal healings and, you know, Reiki sessions and all those beautiful sort of things, you know, maybe like, I don't know, tarot tea parties and everybody wears funny hats or whatever. Um, but I've been realizing that I was holding myself back by trying to be so perfect about things, you know, which again is a way in which we can beautifully sabotage ourselves because we say to ourselves, I just want everything to be perfect because if it's perfect, people pay good money, and if they pay good money, I must give them my best. And before you know it, 3 years have passed, you know. Um, but then this realization that I had, I was like, but I'm already doing powerful stuff, you know. I've grown exponentially. I've got amazing people in my life. I am at peace with people that I thought I will never be at peace with in my life. Um, I get to live on my own, live on my own terms, walk on my own terms, walk my dog a couple of times a day. I'm on nobody's clock but my own. And I realized that, you know, where sometimes in life we feel so lost and you actually forget to realize how achieved you already are. So I'm going to encourage you today to maybe just look around in your life and see what are the things that are already working well. You know, your kids and your job and like everything that you worked hard for. And sometimes we are so focused on creating continuation or rather, you know, to pursue continuation, to keep it going, that we kind of miss when it's time to start something new. We forget the strength that we have and who we are. You know, we forget that in our younger days, maybe, or earlier part of our life, rather, you know, because it doesn't really matter. But you had some ambition and strive, and you went for things, and you made it happen. And sometimes you realize, and it can be a difficult thing to realize, but sometimes instead of trying to make something going, it's actually time to let it go completely and start something new. And in that way, you can actually continue what you do in an amazing way. It's almost like it's like a very kick-ass sort of thing, you know. You become that like second legend, second take, or you give yourself that chance. So I'm gonna say to you that if you were in a space where you are feeling like nothing is happening and nothing is working and nothing is going your way, maybe it's time to start something new. You know, maybe it's time to let everything go and have an experience very similar to, you know, someone taking a leap year and backpacking through Europe type of thing. You know, if you like from the States or something like that. Give yourself that new beginning. Our time on this planet is very limited. And think to yourself, if you get to have a deathbed one day, and you reflect back on your life, you reflect back on this moment where you are right now, are you really thinking that you are taking the decisions and the choices that are in the best interest of your future and your happiness? because remember that you and only you create your experience of life from your subconscious beliefs about your worth and your value. And you want to make sure that those values are in alignment with what it is that you want, so that your life can be an expression of the most positive, most highest, most beautiful dream that the Creator was dreaming for you when you were dreamed into being. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope that you're doing well. And I just want to send you some love from my heart. Namaste, love and light. And I look forward to seeing your comments. If the video resonates with you, go ahead and like it. It'll be fantastic. If you're interested, there's a link for a WhatsApp group where I'm the only admin. Nobody gets to send messages. You can send emojis now. Where I normally draw like a daily message. You're more than welcome to join it. It's free. It's meant to inspire you. You feel more than welcome to join. I look forward to connecting with you on there. Wishing you all the best for the rest of your day or your evening and wherever you are on this beautiful green and blue planet. I'm sending you some love from my heart, and if you're open to receive that love, I'd like you to place your hand on your heart and take a nice deep breath into your heart, in through your nose, into your heart, welcoming in your own holy guardian angel, welcoming in the beautiful positivity of the universe, welcoming in your divine potential, the beauty of who you are. Everybody came to this planet to have a beautiful dream. There was a time when I believed that when God made me, He just had to have that one-off moment. I was that one mistake. And I believe that, And for me, it's an honor these days to help other people that have those similar sort of experiences, because I think one of the most powerful things to realize, and I think this is what happens, we feel that we are going through our challenges alone, but it's really empowering when you realize that other people are dealing with similar challenges. So whatever you're going through, I want you to know that you're not alone. And I want you to know that this too shall pass. Whatever it is, whatever the shit is, the shit will pass, And sometimes when we're in a space where nothing is happening, we're trying to make it work and work and work and nothing's happening. Maybe it's time to open yourself to the idea that maybe there's something else that can happen for you, and it can be way more beautiful than you ever imagined. All right? And that is the love, that is my wish, that's my desire for you, that the rest of your life is the best of your life. Beautiful, beautiful person. From my heart, namaste, love and light. Ciao.